why you dance or king in Tapa. No vibe, Obi as a way along. Ghana music, Obi a kid, you shove a point and time. Oh God, and I'm why you done. Me no bad people, and we no pretend.
So that's the brand new one from Jali. It's called Pretenders. 2 minutes past 10. We're in the second hour of the mid-morning on Thursday, October the 8th. And it's a special one because we have Wiley the Board series, now. So today on the Wiley the Board series, we bring it to your homes and, your offices, our second sports personality. I think right after Professor Azuma Nelson. This man in the building has made a name for himself during a period where a few of his caliber had succeeded. The mention of his name alone draws huge admiration as well as poignant, memories of or for those who have loved and followed the exploits of the Black Stars of Ghana over the years. Born in Germany as a son of a Ghanaian diplomat, he's a former Ghana national or Ghana international football player with 25 caps for Ghana. He played for clubs like FC Cologne, Fortuna Düsseldorf in Germany, and also played for Metz and the OGC Nice in France. He was the first Ghanaian expatriate player to play for the Black Stars, according to our records. He is an experienced general coordinator of major football events like World Cup, Africa Cup of Nations, Olympic Games, and many sporting events. Additionally, he's hosted numerous sports-related TV shows here in Ghana and in Germany. He is the founder of the Professional Footballers Association of Ghana, an ambassador and activist against racism. Our guest is currently the Deputy General Secretary in charge of football and development at the Confederation of African Football, CAF. Anthony Baffoe joins me on the Wiley the Board series today, and I must say it's a pleasure to have him here. I was telling him just before he came in that I grew up watching him on TV. I mean, his presenting parts, I didn't see much of the football bit. All I watched was videos from the past, but to have the opportunity to sit with him today, I mean, for him to take time off his busy schedule to actually talk to us today is a blessing. And first of all, we'd like to say thank you so much for coming through, sir. It's great to have you in the building.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to YFM.
Thank you very much. Good morning to all the listeners. It's a pleasure to be here, and especially after a big icon, a legend,
yes.
Known all over the world, Azuma Nelson. I used to get up for him early mornings and to watch him. So once again, the privilege is also here within me. Thanks.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir. So the basic point behind Wiley the Board series is to draw inspiration from the lives of achieved people like yourself in various fields, all in the light of motivating the people out there. We are known to have the numbers when it comes to the youth. It's always entertainment, music, but now we want to cross over to that side as well. I mean, give them practical ways through which they can go through whatever it is that they go through. Believe you me, today, before the show ends, a lot of people will pick a lot of motivation from what you're going to tell us and, of course, know which direction to point their lives. And, of course, when you talk about every great man and you want to find out who he really is, you definitely need to start from his genesis, the beginning. Let's start off, from the beginning. How were your early days like growing up in Germany? What kind of family setting did you grow up in?
Well, as you rightly mentioned, I was born and bred in Germany. And Germany gave me a certain education. There's not only academical education, also life education. I'm very punctual. I don't joke with my time.
Yes.
This is key for me. I don't want people to wait for me, but I also don't like to wait for people. So people in my environment know, who know me, they know who work with me, they know 9 o'clock is 9 o'clock. It's not 9-1, it's not 9-2. So this is very important for me. This is how I grew up. This is what my father taught me. This is what my mom taught me. I was born in Bad Godesberg. It's a suburb from Bonn, the former capital of Germany. Very well known for the back then diplomatic area. And now Berlin is the capital. And we are 7 kids. My father passed when I was 15. My mom, alhamdulillah, I thank Allah for that, still alive and kicking. She's going to turn 91.
Wow.
And a very strong lady. She remembers everyone's birthday. And she tells me, oh, now I'm starting to forget things. And I said, hey, I'm 55. I also forget things. So it's all okay.
Wow.
So we are exactly 4 ladies and 3 men in the family. And growing up in Germany after my father's death was not that easy. I went to an international school, but then I went to a German college.
Okay.
I was only black.
Wow.
In the whole school, but I spoke better German than all of them. And languages is something I really admire, and I'm blessed with it as well. So to tell you, the days after my father's passing were not easy. You know, my mom there with 7 children. I could not go to my mom to ask her for money to take the bus or the tram. No, I got up early mornings. Was distributing newspaper.
You used to sell newspaper?
Yes, I was distributing. At that time, they were free. You know, certain newspapers were free. Like you see in the movies, the newspaper man come, throw in. So I got up before going to school. But sometimes when I didn't have money in my pocket, I will go into the bus or the tram and I'll not pay. So when the controller comes, I will run. But the difference was that I was running to school.
Okay.
So these were my early days coming up, because a lot of people thought I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, but it was not like that. And you know, you have to learn how to hustle. This is very, very important. And it gives you a certain life experience. You know, they're not always glory days in life, but it's written in the Quran, it's written in the Bible that before you get somewhere, you must go through a tough time.
That's true.
Rich people also go through a tough time. It can be mentally, it can be spiritually.
That's true.
You know, everybody associates everything to economics, but it's not like that. So prayers are important. Willpower is very important. I learned this also in Germany, because most of the times I had to defend myself.
That's true.
Or I had to be twice as good as a white man or a white woman, you know. But I had a beautiful childhood, because I grew up in a multicultural environment. And this helps me a lot, you know. I call it intercultural skills. So I call myself very, very blessed. And I've gone through certain tough periods, and you have them at every part or stage in your life. But you can always look back that, hey, I came from somewhere. And I'm happy to be here.
Wow. I mean, this is just the first step, and we're sharing bullets of wisdom already. I'm enjoying it. At what point, right? I mean, I was going to find out your fondest memories growing up, but I think you've mentioned a few things that are quite key. At this point, I want to find out, at what point did football come in? Your love for football. When did it start?
You know, the first time I went to a football pitch was together with my brother Mike, who's 2 years older than me, and my sister Rosalind. She is number 5 in the family.
Okay.
One day she came, and her classmate was someone's father her classmate's father was running a club in Bonn-Bad Godesberg, FC Rings of Godesberg, exactly. And then she came and she told us, they're looking for players. Don't you want to go and play football? I used to organize all the street games. You see, in the area, like Robert Smith Street against Alex Akume Street.
You were like the organizer.
I was organizing all the children for us to play. And then we went. We went there just with some trainers. We didn't even have football shoes. And when we arrived, you know, we looked at the pitch, and they were standing far away, and the man was waving, "Come, please come." So I went with my brother, and he said, "Oh, you don't have football shoes with you?" I said, "No, we only have trainers." "Okay, there's a big box. Look in there and pick." So there was only one pair, and my brother and myself, we have the same size. And I told my brother, because he was the older one, "You take it." And he said, "No." I said, "You take it." I played with raining boots. It was raining.
Wow.
On that day.
Rainy boots.
I played with raining boots. You know, those long ones.
Yeah, the long ones.
The fishermen or
the ones
whatever.
People sent to the farm in Ghana.
Exactly.
Yeah, wow.
You know, so I played. I scored 2 goals. I dribbled everyone.
In the boots.
Yeah. And then they came home and they said, yeah, we want to sign your brother for the other team.
Huh.
And we want to sign yourself. Like, it was a membership, you know, just for me to sign a membership. My mother said, no way.
Wow.
He's going to school. He's not going to play football, you know. And then my father said, well, if he can combine both, let him try, and then we'll see the outcome. My mom was not
She was
pro
against
football.
it, yeah.
You know, football back in the days, you know, was not a really well-seen sport.
It wasn't a prestigious sport?
Yes,
so to say? Okay.
you know, same like tennis. You know, tennis was, the color was only white, only with membership, but everything has changed.
Yeah.
You see now, big people push the kids to play football.
Yeah.
So this is how I started playing, you know, with FC Rings of Godesberg for 5 years. And then I went to Cologne and signed for the youth team over there. My mother again, because it was like from here to Tema.
Yeah.
My mother said, how is he going to get to Cologne? And then they were explaining that they're going to send me a driver, and he will pick me and 3-4 other boys 3-4 times a week from Bonn to Cologne. So this is how.
That's where it started from.
Yeah, this is where I started.
But I mean, now that we speak, were you the only one in the family that pursued football professionally, or any of the other brothers also joined in, or they dropped it?
My brother stopped after 2 years.
Okay.
He went a bit to athleticism, but then he also stopped. And I think I am very persistent and very focused. If I want to, if you tell me I can't jump this wall, I said maybe I will not jump it today.
But you jump it tomorrow?
No, or tomorrow next.
Okay.
You see, and this is how I am. When you tell me no, you can never do it, because even in my club in Godesberg, some didn't believe that I would make it with FC Cologne. But at the end of the day, in 1983, I signed my first professional contract, thanks to Christoph Daum, who discovered me. And my first professional coach was Rinus Michels, the legendary Dutch coach. So this is how everything started.
Everything started. I want to find out, right? People say that the certain people find themselves in fosters whatever interest that they have. Would you say that the community you grew up in contributed to your growing desire for football? I mean, if you had grown up in another space, would you have had the same interest in football? Would it have been harnessed into what you are now?
I'll use the sentence of Nelson Mandela. It always seems impossible until it's done. Why I'm telling you this is I never dreamt of becoming a professional footballer. I was just playing football. And when suddenly clubs like Cologne came, you played in the district selection, regional selection, you know, the passing away of my father was very instrumental, because I was thinking, how are we going to take care of mom? And this was the fastest way to make money and to take care of the family.
Yeah.
I'm the fifth born, and with 18 I earned more than my elder brother. You see, at that time it was 4,000 Deutsche Marks, is equivalent to 2,000 euro.
Okay.
It was standard for 18 years old boy. I'm not talking about the sums of today, which is okay, legitimate. This is how the market is, you know. But I believe it was destiny.
Yeah.
You know, many are called, few
are chosen.
So it was destiny, and alhamdulillah, I thank Allah
Back
for that.
then, I mean, throughout all these days, you were still trying to find your fit with football. How much did you know about Ghana? Did you have the opportunity to travel down along the line?
I used to come and go.
Okay.
And you see, I'm a Pan-Africanist. I love Africa. My heart and my soul is like an African. But my mind, the education, is also European, with a lot of knowledge about Africa. There's certain things I had to get used to. You know, I'm a very straight talker.
Yeah.
But my father-in-law, first my father, he told me when I was going and coming, I was young. And then he said to me, you're going to make it. But sometimes don't try to understand certain things. what he was telling me, don't compare. I give you an example. You see a bus leaving here in Ghana. The bus will only leave when it's full.
Yeah.
In Europe, 7:25 on the dot. He's there. He will leave.
Whether full or empty.
Whether full or empty. It's already a difference in regards to the system. You see. That's why I believe in the African, in the youth, because and I've always admired people who combine education and sports. This is very, very important because you never know of tomorrow. May God forbid, things can happen, but then you can fall back on education. So, yeah. So I was the chosen one.
I like that. Did you at what point did you pick up a local dialect? Did you speak any? You said you're very familiar, you're very good with languages. While you were coming to Ghana and going back, did you learn any language?
Well, I speak Fanti with my mom,
okay.
But I'm not perfect.
You're not perfect.
I can express myself better in English and in many other languages, but a lot of people thought I don't understand anything. Boko, Yaminado.
I like
no,
that.
but I understand everything.
You understand everything.
Yeah, yeah.
But you can't really express yourself in this, so sometimes
I can, but of course with an accent. But when I speak the other languages, you will not realize who, like if you talk to me on the phone and in German, you will not know there's a black man behind the phone.
I get it,
know?
I get it,
Yeah.
I get it now. How much of a family man are you? We know Tony the footballer. Who is Tony the family man, the father?
My family is very important to me. I've been married since 1994.
Wow.
I've been together with my wife since 1992, through everything, ups and downs. And she's a strong person, a very kind-hearted person. She forgives easily. I forgive too. But you see, I will not entertain the people. I will say, hello, how are you? And I will move on. It would be difficult for me to go with you to dinner.
Yeah.
But I will not keep it in me.
Yeah.
You know, and she is somebody who forgives easily. She does a lot in terms of humanitarian work. And she's my backbone. Very, very important. My family is a private affair.
Yeah.
I don't allow people to mingle into my family. My kids, I have 3, Shaquille, 24, Bokim, 22, my daughter
Wow.
Kashira is 12, and including my wife, they're my everything. And I have nieces, I have kids for my in-laws, I adore all of them. I take them out for lunch, and kids until a certain age are very honest.
Yeah.
They tell you directly, they'll show you if they will like you or not. So I take a lot of wisdom from them too. Yeah, family to me is more important than ever. I would never take any decision without the consultation of my family. If I talk about my family, it's not only my wife, it's my kids too. I explain to them why I'm doing this and that. And I also want them to grow up with character. I tell them, if you don't like something, what daddy or mommy is doing, ask.
Yeah.
Ask questions.
Don't harbor it inside.
Exactly. It's very, very important. So communication with your children, with the family, is the key.
Is the key as well. Has football found its way into the hearts of any of your children yet?
My firstborn, he plays, but he studies as well.
Okay.
It's rather unfortunate that I could have been more behind in terms of pushing, but you know, I was traveling a lot, and I could have done more in this aspect. Yeah. Do
you think he's gonna play? He's gonna play better than you in the future? He's gonna get there, like go past you.
You see, we always want our children to become better than we are. We lay the foundation for them. You understand? That's why we are working.
Yeah.
If I see a market woman or a lady who carries all the food stuff on her head to sell, and she would tell you probably, my son goes to this and this school. So she's sweating for the son to become someone.
Yeah.
And when the son becomes someone, he will look after his mom. So these things for me are very, very important.
Let's speak a little bit more about your career now. I mean, you told us about the beginning where football came in and all that. Somewhere between 1974 and 1983, your career at youth level had taken off already. What were some of the key moments during the period that convinced you that you could pursue football professionally and succeed?
Like I told you, I never thought of becoming a professional footballer. I loved to play, but I told you one of the key elements was my father's passing away.
Yeah.
And having the fastest seeing football as the fastest way to make money,
to support the family.
Yes, exactly. And when I turned 17, I used to be called up to train with the professionals once or twice a week, and this already was a strong signal that you have talent.
Yeah.
And every Tuesday we had something called Nachwuchsrunde. It was like a, let me say, talent league, top talents league.
Okay.
You play with the experienced players who are coming back from injury to get playing practice and more playing, regain playing experience. And for us, the young ones, we were on the spot. But for me, I didn't have that even in my mind.
You were just playing?
Yeah, I was playing, and until my coach, my youth coach, Christoph Daum, told me I was 17, yeah, and I was in front of my last year of playing in the youth, and then he said, please, focus, really focus, because Rino Smichels, the by then coach, may so rest in peace, said that he has his eyes on you. And it made click. Back then, only 3 foreigners could play in a professional team, you know. So I was asking questions, but they have a lot of foreigners, and then my youth coach told me, you play first. Try and finish the season with us, and then you see what is going to happen afterwards.
Just do your part.
Yes, and we were German vice youth champion in that year, 1983. We lost against Eintracht Frankfurt. And after that, immediately I went to camp with the professionals, signed my first contract for 2 years.
Wow.
It started, but I played the first matches, but then Rino Smichels had to leave. A new coach came, Hannes Löhr. May so rest in peace, he passed as well. With him, I didn't have a really good relationship, and then I was still going to training, but once in a while I was going out, clubbing, doing this, you know, I was spiritually down.
Yeah.
Until Toni Schumacher, the great legendary German goalkeeper, every day he was shouting on me in training. You know, sometimes we play matches 5 against 5, 7 against 7, and it's very fast. And he was always on me. And I was living right beside him. So then I took all my courage, and then I went to see him. And I remember the words of my father, if you have a problem, speak. Speak out. And I told him, why are you always shouting on me? And he said, because you're not doing enough. He said, you're black. Don't forget, you have to be twice as good. We are only 3 foreigners here. We are 5 foreigners, only 3 can play. You're young. You must do more. You're not doing enough. It made click. It really made click. I said, this man, he likes me. If he wouldn't like me, he would not be on me like that. And it really made click to me, and I'm passing the message to my kids. I'm passing the message to other young ones. Be committed, be focused, humble at the same time, disciplined, and go the extra mile. Sometimes you might think nobody is watching you, but there's always somebody watching you from above. You see, and this is very important. You know, we want to have everything easy, but this is not how it is. If you are getting it easy in the beginning, in the middle, the tough time will come. Don't worry. Or towards the end. But it's better you get it in the beginning and the end result is good. So this was, and of course, my brothers and sisters always supported me as well. But Toni Schumacher, you know, he was someone who was crazy about training. And I told him, don't compare yourself with others. He said, yes, you're right. But what I'm trying to tell you is to work hard. And this is what I've kept in me until today.
Wow. Apart from, I mean, obviously, Tony would get into your list of role models in there. When you started focusing on football solely, did you look up to any footballer back then? I mean, get us into that scope. Who were the top people you looked at, people you wanted to be like back then?
I was looking at black players in diverse teams.
Okay.
Or in a purely Dutch team. You know, Dutch, I was looking to France because they had a lot of colonies in Africa, in South America as well. I love people like Jean-Amadou Tigana, who was half Malian and half French. Viv Anderson, he was one of the first players to play for the English national team. I loved Ruud Gullit. With his locks, I used to have locks too. And he dedicated his European Best trophy via satellite, speaking to Winnie Mandela, to Nelson Mandela. Now we are hitting some of one of my other role models who's not a footballer. The Nelson Mandelas, the wisdom of the Kwame Nkrumahs, the Mahatma Gandhis, the Steve Bikos. These are people who have inspired me with the being selfless. This was something I really loved. If you look at somebody like Nelson Mandela, who was 28 years in prison, came back and he forgave. You see, he could have been angry, full of hatred, but you see, a leader is not just there to talk. He makes other people great as well, you know. And these are people I really admired. Yeah. And later, you know, when I started playing and getting to know more African football, I admired, of course, people like Abedi Pele, who was my roommate. You know, Jules-François Bocandé, Stephen Keshi.
You've met them all.
Yes, I've met them. I've played against them.
Wow.
And these were really people I admired back then and have a lot of admiration for them. But I love selfless leaders. I read a lot of biographies, and I like people who came from nowhere and made it. And that's what tells you that nobody was born dumb. You see, it's just the opportunity, and you need people also to encourage you. My father was my role model, and my late father and my late father-in-law was also a role model.
Role model to you as well.
To me, because you see, back then I used to have my dreadlocks, but he never questioned me.
Yeah, look, I want us to talk about that. Why did you cut it, by the way?
He never questioned me about my looks. I don't question people about their looks as well. I remember when I used to have my dreadlocks, people thought I smoke. You know, it's an easy association with it. And then I told the person that so people who don't have dreadlocks don't smoke and don't drink, right?
That's what they mean.
Yeah, I didn't smoke and I was not drinking. But everything I do, I always say is between me and God.
And your God.
I don't need to justify myself to anyone, you know. But and the real dreadlocks, I used to go to Jamaica a lot, and to find out really about Rastafarism, you know. And a lot of them, they can quote the Bible inside out. You see, whatever they do with their ganja, how we say, is between them
and their God.
And their God, you know. You see, never judge a book by its cover. Try and find out about how the people are. You see, you have to be a very good listener before you can judge someone. We like Konkonsa. We love it. When you see the movies, how people talk about each other. You see, if I have a relationship with you, and somebody will come and talk anyhow about you, and then I will tell the person, maybe between you and him, but not between me.
Not between, exactly.
Or I will take the phone and call the person.
And say, this
is now speak. He's here. And then they run away.
That is the ethics of Kokonsa. I mean, they can't say it in front of the person.
So for me,
wow.
No time for that.
Beautiful story. Now, you were the first recognized black player, as you mentioned, to appear in the German Bundesliga, right? What were the newspaper headlines saying back then? I mean, take us back into the days when you started playing and you were excelling in there. What were were you accepted? How was it like? How was the reception like?
First of all, I must give kudos to the late C.K. Jumphy,
Okay.
who played for my former club, Fortuna Düsseldorf, and he was there before me. We had, but if you say the first recognized, maybe I made, let me say, an impact in terms of media attention. You had Ibrahim Sunday, who was with Werder Bremen. He only played 2 times, but at the same time, he was studying there. We had people like Etepe Kakoko, Santos Multubila, who were there in the 80s as well. And then the wave came with Anthony Baffoe, Suleiman Sane, Ali Ibrahim was also there. So it was a stepping stone to something.
Yeah.
Which has been created today. I know your next question would be about racism, how I felt, and yes, but then you must not forget, before you insult me, you see a tall guy, 6'3.5". Before you say something to me, you have to think twice.
You think twice.
You know, and back in the days, people will ask you, you English, you German, and then I'll look at them. I said, are you not from here? Like, are you not from Germany?
Don't you know?
No. Why do you speak broken English? I don't understand. You're German. I speak perfect German, high German. And then they were all shocked because I spoke the language fluently without even any accent. I even speak dialect, you see. So what I'm trying to tell you that I had a huge advantage. I grew up there. I knew the system. I could express myself before Anthony Baffoe, Suleiman Sane.
There were no limits for you.
Yes, exactly. But then later, people like Anthony Baffoe, he was world class. He made Africans, Ghanaians really proud. Suleiman Sane is from Senegal. His son Leroy Sane plays for Bayern Munich, played for Man City before. So after that, there was a wave of a lot of good. JJ Okocha.
Wow.
Even today, he still plays. I never want to play against him. I tell him, change the side, because he would disgrace you, you know. So, yeah, we started making big impact in the Bundesliga. But what was sad, you always had to be twice as good.
Yeah.
You see, today I am very happy to see Bayern Munich having a few black players. It tells you they look for quality. If you're black or white or Chinese, doesn't matter. If you have quality, you play for them. And there are still things happening. There's still unfair treatment. So what I believe can only change is stronger sanctions and enforcement of the rules and regulations. But inshallah, we'll get there. And we as blacks, we must also have more solidarity amongst ourselves. In America, it's a normal system. Basketball players, baseball players, American football players, footballers as such. Huge campaigns, Black Lives Matters. You know, I organized something also with all the African legends in regards to that. So the solidarity
is what's going to keep us moving.
Absolutely. It's not about LeBron. You understand? You know, it's about the team, the collective.
Wow. Bullets of wisdom, if you ask me. Guys, we have Tony Yeboah in the... we have Tony Baffoe in the building.
He's got more goals than me.
He's got more goals than you, right? If you have any question for him, 02022222076 gets it in. You then crossed over, you crossed the border to France, right?
Yes.
And then played for FC Metz before OGC Nice. Did I get the name right?
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
all right.
C'est français.
France. All right. Now, what's the main attraction, or what was the main attraction to the French league? What drew you there?
You know, 1992. I know you get to that later. I, for the first time, experienced the French culture in Senegal. Sometimes when I travel, A lot of people think I'm Senegalese. I also love the fact that, which is normal today in Germany, that you had more than one black playing in one team.
Yeah.
Due, of course, to the French people, they had more colonies in Africa. So I said, no, I really wanted to try and find out how it is. And then the offer came for Metz after Senegal 92. And I, up to today, I don't regret it. I had two fantastic years in Metz, then in Nice. I had some issues with the coach, but generally, I would say I will always do it again. I would always do it again. And, you know, French league has a certain flair with all the brothers, the sisters over there. It was great. It was a great experience. At that time, Abedi played for Olympique Marseille. Later, he went to Lyon. Marcel Desailly was also in Marseille. Georges Weah was there. So it was just fantastic. I really enjoyed the time in France.
How many years did you spend there?
I spent 4 years over there.
4 years, and so that's all it took for you to get your French perfect. Because I know you speak good French as well.
I told you I'm a linguist.
Wow.
I learned French in school as well. But then I could perfectionize my French in France. So languages, like I told you, is a blessing from above.
Wow. Let's talk about Black Stars. When and how did you receive your first invitation to play for the Black Stars? Before that, had you already considered your intention of, doing international football? Back then, what did you know about the team before the invitation? I mean, before the invitation came, did you hear much about them? How was the state of the team, all that?
I could never understand why Ghana was not qualifying to the World Cup. And back then you had only one team, then it became 3 teams, and now we have 5 teams. And in 1986, 87, Rudi Gutendorf was the coach of the Black Stars, and I was playing with Stuttgart the Kickers, and he wanted me to play for Ghana, but by then we didn't have international match days. There was no proper regulations or rule for a player to be released. And so it was put on hold until 1991. People like Richard Nau, Nanayo Amaning, Ablade Kuma, Sabato, Ali Ibrahim stayed with me in Cologne. And Bokatsize, in Ghana we say Bokatsize, but it's Bokatsize, may his soul rest in peace, came up. And he said, I really want you to play for Ghana. And the guys like Richard Nau, who played with Hearts, Nanayao Amaning, Olympics, Ablade Kuma Sabato, Heartsman, great player, Ali Ibrahim. They were there chopping our kinky together. And they said, bro, you have to come and play for Ghana. And you see, I said that when the time is right, I'll come. And in Germany, there's a winter break, and they play futsal, indoor football. So everything really was well organized for me to leave. I asked my club, they said, it's winter break, you can go. And I played my first match for Ghana on the 13th January 1991. I can tell you the selection if you want.
Let's go.
Yes, in goal was Eddie Ansah. Then Emmanuel Ama, Senegal, Emmanuel Ampia. We had Stanley Abora, Kwesi Apia, the former Black Star coach. We had Joado. We had Ali Ibrahim. We had Richard Nau. We had Anthony Boa. We had Prince Polly. And Frimpong Manso, one of my favorite defenders. This was the starting 11. We won 4-0 against Benin. And it was just wonderful. I remember even the training was 20,000 people were at the Kumasi Sports Stadium. And when I arrived, even this is also a very interesting story, they said Anthony Baffoe has arrived, special bed for him. They all thought I was very tall. I am very tall. But they described me like a basketball player, So I came and they put my bed into the bungalow of the coach. And I arrived at, I remember, 3 a.m. With the late Alaji Mekano, one of the best team managers ever. May his soul rest in peace. Fantastic man. So when I woke up, I looked around. I said, where are the players?
Players, no way.
And then they said, yeah, they're over there. They didn't want me to sleep there. They said, you know, there are mosquitoes, there are this.
Oh, no.
And I said, I'm a footballer. I must be where the players are. And I said, the only thing I'm telling you, take that special bed, bring it to the other compound. And then Ali Ibrahim, Richard Now, then Ablad Kuma Sabato, they said, don't worry, Tony will not sleep there. This guy is a Rasta man.
Wow.
You know, what they were saying, but then I didn't have the dreadlocks. They were saying that my spirit is very free and open. So I took the bed and I slept where the players were. And I think this was very, very important also. I didn't want to feel like I am special. And then people like Tony Yeboah, being there, I knew him from Germany, also took good care of me and explained certain things to me. It was just fantastic. It was, I remember they substituted me a couple of minutes before the end of the game. I had standing ovations and I took the flag and I did a lap of honor. It was very spontaneous, and you see the love for my continent and the love for my country, Ghana, was really deep. And up till now, I'm very proud to be Ghanaian stroke African, and that gave me special feelings. I always tell people, can you stand down there and listen to your national anthem? When this thing happens, that means you have come very far. We thank God for that.
Wow. Now, I'm sure through all these fun days playing for Black Stars, I mean, the early days, you must have had one or two challenges. Do you remember any?
Challenges, you see, when I arrived, you know, things were not like today in terms of professionalism. We didn't even train with the same kits. Everybody was wearing his kits, and then we had the bib on, you know, and but you know, you came for the love of the country, for the love of the flag, of the Black Star, and of course challenges. I don't see it as challenges. I would say experiences. We went to Senegal '92. We lost in penalty shootout. I missed the final penalty. And I scored the first, but people will always talk about the second
one that you missed.
That's normal. You have to live with it.
Was that the one in 1992?
Yes, exactly. And I remember journalists asked me, "Oh, did you feel like stopping your career?" And I said, "Did Maradona stop his career after he missed the penalty? Did Lothar Matthäus stop his career, or Baggio after he missed the penalty? Hey, this is part of life. You gotta carry on, because you don't do it intentionally. And at that same time, you were the one taking the responsibility. And
maybe I don't want to find out if you wanted to quit, but after that miss, what was the first thing that came to mind? What ran through your mind? Take us into that scope. What was your?
Oh, you see, in that very moment, you're sad, because if you would have scored, we would have brought the cap home. Home to where it belonged to the promised land of Ghana. But it didn't happen. It didn't happen after that as well. '82 was the last time. And this was the sad thing. But at the end of the day, experiences and memories are there to be remembered. They are positive and they are negative experiences. But the whole experience of Senegal '92 was, for me, fantastic. It was my first African Cup. I think I did quite well in the entire tournament, and it gave me a certain recognition on the African continent. And after that, we passed it on.
Wow, that particular question was very important for me, because when I posted that I was going to interview on here, my uncle called me. So this is the thing. This is like a big confession. I was born, I think, 3 months after that game. 28 years ago. I'm quite young, so I mean, I didn't really feel it. I didn't really know how it was.
I'm
so
almost double as old as you.
My uncle texted and said, "You know what? Ask him. Find out from him what came into his mind when it happened." I mean, back then TVs were not, you know, the thing like it was now. People can't really see the expression on your face and
Absolutely.
that. I mean, so it's good you've taken us in there. Now let's talk about Your highest moment.
But I must tell you also that when we came back to Ghana, the airport was crowded like we had won the cup.
So they were not angry?
No. They carried me. You see. And you must not forget, I was the first to be born abroad to play for Ghana. And I opted for Ghana. And the people saw that I was real. And up to now, the respect is there. And I'm very grateful to that. For me, it's a blessing. It's a timeless blessing.
Wow. Anyways, which moment in your soccer career would you describe as your greatest moment? Something that happened or a time that you felt, wow, I'm really here.
My greatest moment, first of all, was getting married to my wife in 1992. Because I met a wonderful person who has been very loyal to me, like I told you, my backbone. And without that, you cannot have a successful career. In regards to, and of course, my children, Shaquille, Bukim, and Keshira, are all a blessing to me, to us. And the prayers of my mom, of course, very important for all these moments. Playing for Ghana was special. That's why I've not forgotten the date, the 13th January 1991 against Benin. It was a start of coming back home to the continent, not only Ghana, because I had the chance to travel in Africa, and I'm still continuing it today. So things like that really make me happy, because in Germany, the way I grew up, when we go to matches, we sit, nobody's singing, nobody's talking. You're focused. I used to have a Walkman back in the days, listen to my Bob Marley or Lucky Dube songs. And but here, when I sat in the bus, we started singing.
Jama,
gospel songs, and I said, wow. And I said, no, if you do that in Germany, they think, what is wrong with him? But nowadays, everything is cooler. You hear music in the dressing room. The young generation of today is more easy. But all these are very positive experiences for me. And it's a free lesson. You've been taught things you cannot buy, you know, and then different ethnic groups, we pray. If you're Muslim, if you're Christian, we pray. We pray together, because prayers have no...
there's no boundaries,
Yeah, there's no boundaries, and they speak all the languages, like the football itself. He speaks every language. And these are things I don't want to forget. And you see, I always talk about Abedi Pele, because for me, one of the greatest players I've played with. You know, we were roommates up to today. We are brothers, and it was great meeting him. And it was just, the way he played, he was just unique when he was preparing for the match. You know, at that time there were small shin guards. He was putting the shin guards on the left, on the right, in front, behind, and you know, said. He was prepared to be kicked, and I told him that whoever kicks you, I'll kick him too.
Wow.
So don't worry. Yeah, it was a great time.
Speaking about moments you will never forget, you touched on one thing that is a part of Ghanaian football. Well, it's actually African football. Now, I'm sure, you know, teams outside are also emulating as well. The Jama bit. Do you remember, I mean, when you joined the Black Stars, do you remember that one Jama that always got you in the mood? Like, whenever it comes up, you're like, oh, I'm going to do this.
No, you see, I was not used to music in the stadium. High life. You know me, I like the Ben Brackos, you know, from the good olden days, you know. And this tone, I remember when my mother and my father used to dance at parties. And then this tone, this rhythm came, and I said, wow. Wow. And I think it's, whether you're black born in Europe, black born in Africa, it's in the blood. Right? It's with us, and we will embrace it immediately.
Wow.
And it's pure music.
Yeah.
You know,
It's natural. It comes off naturally. At what point did you begin planning for life after football? Did you get any form of assistance? What sort of capacity did you have to build to thrive during the retirement period? I mean, what were the plans? You know, beyond football, what did you want to do?
You see, to tell you honestly, you know, after France, I played in Hong Kong and I played in Venezuela. And it's not easy to retire because you love the game. But then you can see that maybe you get in certain injuries, that the body is no more like before. You're hustling, you know, even hustling to get a club. So this is something, the transition is really not easy. And this is what I'm trying to tell the young ones of today, to prepare whilst they are playing. Read, study. There are a lot of online courses. I always tell them start with IT, because today, without knowing about technology, you can't move on. It is very, very important. Look at this pandemic time. There are online courses.
Everything
you
is
know,
online now.
from a small child, 6, 7, 8, up till, you know, I have most of the meetings online. You know, so I started management courses and event coordination, project management. I was reading a lot as well. And you see, after that, I was very fortunate to host my own shows in Germany. I was also one of the first blacks to do that. And after that, it kick-started. But education helps a lot.
It helped a lot. Since you mentioned, you know, TV, let's get back to it. I mean, you just transitioned from being a, you know, pitch-based personality to getting into the studio as a TV host. Did it come to you naturally? Do you remember the first day you did it? Did you enjoy it more because, you know, it was football related?
You see, I always wanted to do something with TV. And then I had the first offer from the Disney Channel. It was a kids' football show. That's how I started. And then later I had my own shows like Baffoe Meets, all the international players from the Champions League. I had a youth football show where I interviewed the likes of Schweinsteiger, Podolski, and then Philipp Lahms, and then later Samuel Eto'o, Rigobert Song, etc. And you know, it's like a conversation because they see me as a big brother.
Yeah.
And I can go into their houses. You know, they will not allow any normal presenter or journalist to come into your house. And this is how I got going. I got bigger shows at prime time, and then here in Ghana as well. I was hosting the Viasat One Champions League.
That was one of my favorite shows.
Yeah, and you see, when I work, I want to take my own decisions. I don't want you to come and tell me do this, do that. I will take the responsibility. I need to form my own team. If not, I'm out of here. And with Viasat One was a fantastic experience. The ideas we had with the promos were all ideas which were implemented. Even the studio set up, you know, it was really special. And it was a live show.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, and it helped me to, let me say, uplift my CV.
So apart from football and of course journalism, obviously, what are some of the other businesses you're involved in? Do you have other business, other things that you have interest in that you do? Oh,
I love event management a lot. I've organized a lot of events, and what you read before in my profile, I was the general coordinator. It's a general coordinator is like a CEO of a venue. You run the entire venue administration. And that very moment, if it's CAF or FIFA, you represent the administration in that venue.
Yeah.
And you have a team made out of media, security, hospitality, protocol, and IT.
Hospitality, everything. You take in charge there.
That's why they call you the general coordinator. You have to coordinate everything, including the teams who play at this respective venue.
Yeah.
You lead the teams out of the tunnel, and you must start the match on the dot. If any of the teams comes out late from the dressing room, you can miss your time. So you have to be really in control, in command, and go into the dressing room. Hey guys, it's time. Come out now. And you see, for me, it was a bit easier because I came from there.
Yeah. So you understand the dynamics in there.
I understand the dynamics, and they understand me. I know how to speak. I never had a complex in front of any star, be it Cristiano Ronaldo, Neymar, Messi. I told them, here, before you go on the pitch, I am the boss.
I'm in charge.
You see? And most of the times, Neymar, for instance, he's somebody who takes a lot of time. He's the last to come out. And so you have to check your countdown.
Yeah.
And you know everything is planned, when a plane departs. You see, check in at that time.
Yeah.
Everything subsequently, until the time you put your arm down, and the match will start. The referee will look at you. You have your arm up. He knows there's 10 seconds left. You put your arm down. He can start the match.
Wow.
And I mean, it was special moments. I've done a lot of World Cups, Club World Cups, African Cup of Nations, Champions League matches, African Champions League matches, and mostly I was at the final venue in 2014, the legendary match against the team of Germany against Argentina, and Germany won the World Cup. It was special being the first black to coordinate a World Cup finals. It was a very, very special moment. And I never realized it before and during. When I got back to Ghana, and you know, sometimes I just cross the street and go to the filling station, and the people said, "We are proud of you. We are really proud of you." And oh, why are you not taking your car? And you know, I'm used to walk. In Europe, you walk a lot. You take the tram. You leave your car. You see, but here, when you go on a bike, people say, "No, he's broke." you understand? The perception, the mentality, the mindset is different. But I love nature, and why I'm saying this is, stay humble. Always stay humble. Speak your mind, but be humble. Don't fake humbleness.
Yep. Wow. You're currently the Deputy Secretary General for Football Development for CAF. What does this role entail, and what have you been up to so far in this, all-important capacity?
The title is Football and Development.
Okay.
Football, everything which concerns
football,
competitions, all the events, African Cup of Nations, Championship of African Nations, under 17, under 20, female, male, interclub competition, which are the African Champions League. Then you have the coaching courses, you have women's football, you have club licensing, and before it was refereeing, but refereeing is now independent. Women's football, I have women's football very deep down in my heart. It's a big product which needs to be developed further. We came out with a new women's football strategy, and really, women's football is very important. CAF is doing a lot, FIFA is doing a lot. You know, there are a lot of programs now where you can demand financial assistance for the member associations to be helped, the clubs to be helped, and this is something we really need to take very serious and develop the player as such. You know, you can't call it even professional. It's not even semi-professional. Morocco is starting now with professional league, which is very, very important. And this is something we need to push more with the right tools, the right support. We must come together to develop it more, and I think we are on the way. Yeah.
You mentioned your experience with general coordinating and, being the general coordinator of international, football events. I remember, I think you led the finalists of the FIFA World Cup in Brazil onto the pitch as a match commissioner.
General coordinator.
Yes, general coordinator, yes. What did it mean to you? And when you look back at this moment, how do you feel?
This is what I was telling you, that I didn't realize it.
Until?
Because you have millions of people looking at you. If you miss anything, you're the one who...
They're going to come for.
Yeah, and who's at fault. And I remember it was, I think, Puyol and one of the Brazilian top models, I've forgotten her name, and one of our protocol people came up to me. You know, you cannot go on the pitch, not with high heels, nothing. I will never allow anyone apart from players to step on the pitch. So the pitch is and you know, it's the prestigious Maracana, the historical Maracana Stadium.
Yeah.
And she came to me, it was 20 minutes before kickoff, she came with the high heels of, I've forgotten the name. And she said, GC, can she go with these high heels on the pitch? Because she has to bring out the trophy with Puyol. You know, they won the World Cup in 2010 with Spain. And I said, girl, this girl doesn't weigh anything. I have other things in my head than her heels and, you know. And you see, we started the match on time, on the dot. Germany won, and this is what I was telling you when I was coming back to Ghana. This is when I realized this, because when you're out there, you don't think about all these things. I focus. I focus to get my timings right and to start the match exactly on the dot. Have the flags well positioned, you know, have a great organization. And this is what I focused on. And yeah, it made me proud. You know, I was representing Ghana and Africa at the highest level. And this is something which I call experience and memories. People can never take it away from you. It's there, it's written.
Wow, wow. Fun memories, man. That's a great man in the building. In a bit, I'll be jumping on your WhatsApp to check out your questions as well. Before we do that, don't forget the hashtag is Wiley the Board series. So now, how hopeful are you of making a change? I mean, you touched on it earlier, making a change as a FIFA ambassador for the campaign against racism. A lot is still being done out there. What are some of the things you are looking at doing in particular to bring down the menace of racism in football in particular?
Racism is not only about black and white. You see, some people, you know, we have this, we say he's mixed race. When you say mixed race, they would think black and white. But if somebody is Polish and somebody is from Bulgaria, is also mixed. It's not only about color, you see. And it is very important that we as blacks also move closer together. I spoke to you about it before, how things are done when it comes to sports in the States. They really stand out. But just recently, there was, I think, homophobic insult against one of the players from London, Donovan, a former player from the US who played in Germany as well. And he's also the owner of the team. They walked off. And he, as a white player, which had nothing to do with black or white, you know, he encouraged it, and he said, I'm standing 100% behind my team. We have people like Kevin Prince Boateng, who's doing a lot against it, and his brother as well. And I think when it comes to racism, it is very important that that we are very strict with the implementation of sanctions when something is happening. You remember Sulu Montari was also in Italy. He wanted to walk off the field, and then he got a red card. And but then later they retracted the decision. You know, but why does it? Why must it get until then? We should take the action immediately, and this is very, very important. It will not end tomorrow, and for me, there are also some blacks who I don't get along with. That has nothing to do. All I want is for us to be respected, and this is very, very important. You know, so the struggle goes on. We will never give up the fight, and we say that there's only one race, the human race.
The human race.
Yes.
And there's only one language, football.
Football speaks it all.
Yeah. What steps should African governments take to develop sports and strategically position it as a revenue earner for their economies? I mean, I've seen countries make so much out of football. You've experienced both worlds. What, in your opinion, should governments do to change the face of, you know, football and sports in general?
You know, first of all, we must see if the right people are in the right places. If you run a club, what are the criteria to be a chief executive officer? What are the criteria? We must set criteria. We have something called club licensing, which is very, very important. There are strict rules in terms of infrastructure, financial accountability, etc. This helps a lot to put things in place. Back in the days, if I talk about football, we had Temagapoa, which was supported by the Port. We had Obuasi Goldfield, which was supported by the Mines.
The Mines, yeah.
We had Power FC, which was supported by electricity company. What I'm trying to tell you is very important that corporate bodies put themselves behind football. But then you also, what are you giving to this corporate bodies?
What are you offering?
In return. So organization is very, very important. Financial accountability,
It's also important.
budgeting. If you want to pay a player a certain amount and after 3, 4, 5 months you cannot pay the player, that means there's something wrong with your budget. It is not easy. Ghana football has gone through tough times, but now they're trying at the FA with Kurt Okrako and his team to get more sponsorship and to get things done. I believe a lot in youth development. I believe in football in schools. The only thing here with the system is very difficult for a young player or a student to play football during the week because you go to school from 8 to 4, 4:30. In Germany, I went to school from 8 till 1.
And then you're done.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if I stayed until 2 or 3, that means I had sports. You understand? So it's a different. Now, for instance, in Germany, you have football in school. You have football as a subject.
Yeah.
You know, it's part of the synopsis, the curriculum.
The syllabus, yeah.
The syllables. You understand? So it's important to get closer to the schools because this is very important for youth development. You know, kids don't need to play when they're 6, 7, 11 against 11. You can play 3 against 3, 4 against 4, 5 against 5. We need regional selections as well. And if I say regional selection, not only in football, generally, basketball, athleticism, etc. And it's all developmental. Ghana, we have a lot of talent. We have a lot of talent, but the talent in Africa as such, it's very huge.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Now we're going to move on to just 2 questions from you guys, and then we're done. 0202222073. Get yours in. Now this message in here is from E. All right. Okay. So she says, AFCON competition after COVID, will it come on next year? That's what she wants to find out. She wants to find out if AFCON competition will continue after the COVID.
We first of all have the CHAN, which is the Championship of African Nations in January. And one thing about COVID, it controls us. We don't control COVID. And we have planned for it to come on, the CHAN. So let's see what is going to happen with the pandemic. We have the qualifiers also coming up. So we are planning for everything, under 17, under 20. So the plans are there, but let's see what the further development of the pandemic will give to us.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. Now, I want to find out personally, right, what do you do for fun? I mean, football is fun. I want us to put that one on the side. In your daily activities, what are some of the things you do for fun? Do you play another sports? Do you play basketball? Do you go out to the club? What do you do for fun?
I love tennis.
Okay.
I work out in the gym. I run. And taking my kids out, my wife out for dinner, my family. I love kids a lot, you know, my own kids, my in-laws' kids. I really love to hang around them. I love reading as well. I love National Geographic, you know. Yeah, for me, taking my family on vacation, being with them, dining with them, it's already fun.
You, right?
Yeah.
Do you love music?
Yes, I told you I love Bob Marley, I love Lucky Dube, I'm a fan of Ben Bracco, good old High Life. I am very old school.
That's fine.
In terms
That's
of
allowed.
R&B, and now I don't know so many musicians. You know,
The new ones.
I knew Tamini because he lived in my area, and he had this song, "Seobi." Exactly,
Wow.
and then I think Stoneboy, this album Angloga,
Angloga Junction album.
I love it for him to go back to his roots, you know, and where he started. I love the layout, and then Shatawale, I love the song "Taking Over."
Taking over. So this is what we're going to do. After the interview, we'll play a few songs which are created by you, of course, your favorites. But thank you so much. At this point, I mean, all I can say is thank you. You shared a lot with us. I mean, there are things that you said today that I probably never heard before. But before we wrap it all up, all right, the youth of Ghana and the youth all over the world are listening to you. Any last words to them? For them on believing in their dreams, aspiring and attaining greatness? I mean, what should they do? Piece of advice for every young person listening to us today.
First of all, one of my quotes I mentioned earlier on, it always seems impossible until it's done. Then you also have, there's no elevator to success. You must take the stairs. So what I'm trying to tell you is take it step by step, poco a poco, and be committed, be focused, be disciplined, be prayerful as well. Have that determination to make it. And also listen, don't pretend like you know everything. Try also and surround yourself with good people. Too many friends are not good. Have those who are loyal to you. Continue reading, getting the inspiration from above, and also through books, you know. And if you have certain difficult decisions to take, try, even with a young age, to apply wisdom to it. And at the end of the day, hard work always pays off. And my favorite quote is, God's time is always the best.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir, for all this. We appreciate it. Wild Little Boy Streets has been a beautiful one today, and hey, we have some Bob Marley, right? For you. 11 guys. Join me, say thank you to Mr. Anthony Baffoe. He came on Wild Little Boy Streets and shared his live with us. Anything else you want to find out is on our website now, www.yfmghana.com. Thank you guys going out to the team Wild Little Boy Streets Digital, all of the guys for putting up this good work. So have a wonderful day. This song is for you.